Hello, this is Group 12B. Today we will be discussing the impact of physical activity and the COVID-19 pandemic. As we know, physical inactivity is a risk factor for a variety of diseases. Although physical inactivity is not considered a risk factor for COVID-19, this article notes that it may play a role in the severity of the disease. It is important for us as future pharmacists to educate our patients on the importance of regular physical activity and ways they can increase their physical activity during the pandemic while maintaining safety. A news article titled "Physical Inactivity Linked to More Severe COVID-19 Infection" discusses a recent study that was published and highlights the connection between physical inactivity and COVID-19 severity and complications. Researchers compared over 48,000 adults in the United States with confirmed COVID-19 infection between January 2020 and October 2020. Approximately half of the patients observed had no underlying medical conditions, 18% had one condition, and 32% had two or more conditions. All of them had reported their level of regular physical activity between March 2018 and March 2020 at outpatient clinics. This was classified as consistently inactive, or 0 to 10 minutes per week, some activity, 11 through 149 minutes per week, or consistently meeting physical activity guidelines 150 or more minutes a week. 7% were consistently meeting physical activity guidelines, 15% were consistently inactive, with the remainder reporting some activity. After taking account of potentially influential factors such as race, age, and underlying medical conditions, patients with COVID-19 who were consistently physically inactive were more than twice as likely to be admitted to hospitals compared to those who clocked up to 150 or more minutes of physical activity. 73% were more likely to require care in the ICU and 2.5 times more likely to die of infection. The pandemic restrictions, including lockdowns, have increased the barriers for many to achieve regular exercise. We as pharmacy students know that physical activity is a way of promoting health and can minimize the progression of many diseases. This is why it is important for pharmacists to be well educated on when and where to refer patients and how to help them find the adequate resources.
So, what is the importance of physical activity in public health? Those that were not able to maintain physical activity before and during the pandemic are more likely to have increased morbidity and mortality on the individual level, as mentioned previously. On a larger scale, surges of COVID cases that require hospitalization will add to the existing burden of healthcare by increasing the demand for COVID intensive care unit to meet the need of pandemic relief. Aside from COVID, sedentary lifestyles among the general population can result in enormous direct medical costs and individual disability. According to the CDC, inadequate levels of physical activity are associated with $117 billion in healthcare costs. Generally speaking, maintaining a consistent physical activity has a protective benefit against metabolic syndrome, which is a cluster of conditions that can increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes, and will in turn reduce healthcare costs.
So how can we help? As pharmacists, it's our duty to provide outpatient information to patients in order to enhance their quality of life at home. To do this, we can encourage patients to practice exercise regimens that don't require any specialized equipment. These include push-ups, crunches, and squats. Additionally, we must also be aware of limitations faced by certain population groups that may affect their ability to perform such exercises at home. These population groups could include elderly patients who might be more vulnerable to bruising and falling, and diabetic patients who might be vulnerable to hypoglycemia. Additionally, it's important to assist patients in setting achievable goals for their exercise regimens. It is also important to inform patients to wear masks if they should choose to exercise outside or at a specialized gym. And most importantly, we must stress that safety always comes first. Here are our references, and thank you for watching our presentation.